traveling with medication can be stressful. Did you know that 1 in 5 travelers faces issues at airport security because of their meds? That's a lot of unnecessary hassle. But don't worry, we've got you covered. This guide is packed with new tips and tricks for 2024 to help you sail through airport security with your medications. Imagine this. You're at the airport, your flight is about to board, and you're stuck explaining your meds to a TSA agent. Sounds stressful, right? But it doesn't have to be. With a few simple strategies, you can avoid these common pitfalls and make your travel experience smooth and stress-free. In this video, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of navigating airport security with your meds. From organizing your pills to understanding the latest TSA guidelines, we've got all the insider tips you need. We'll also cover special tips for diabetic travelers, how to handle over-the-counter meds, and what to pack in your carry-on. Stick around to learn how to turn the medication maze into a walk in the park. By the end of this guide, you'll be equipped with everything you need to travel confidently and securely with your meds. Ready to master medication travel in 2024? Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Meds Maze. Navigating Security with Ease. Traveling with medication can feel like navigating a maze, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Did you know that over 20% of travelers carry some form of medication with them? It's more common than you think, and with the right strategies, you can make the process smooth. First, always keep your medications in their original containers. TSA agents are trained to recognize these, which can speed up the screening process. According to the TSA, clearly labeled prescription bottles can save you from unnecessary delays. Next, inform the TSA officer at the beginning of the screening process that you have medically necessary liquids and medication. This is crucial. A polite heads-up can make a big difference. One traveler mentioned in her blog, "A simple conversation with the officer about my insulin pump saved me a lot of hassle." Another tip is to use a clear, zip-top bag for your medications. This makes it easier for agents to see what you're carrying. It's a simple step that can save time and reduce stress. Don't forget to carry a copy of your prescriptions. If you're questioned, having the prescription can clear up confusion quickly. A study found that 15% of travelers who had documentation breezed through security faster than those who didn't. Chapter 2. Prescription Papers. What you must carry. Documentation is key when traveling with medication. You might wonder, what exactly do I need? Well, let's break it down. Firstly, have a copy of your doctor's prescription. This is non-negotiable. It's like your medication's passport. Make sure it includes your doctor's contact information and the name of the medication. Secondly, consider getting a note from your doctor explaining why you need the medication. This is particularly helpful for medications that are less common. One traveler shared, "My doctor's note explaining my rare medication prevented any issues at security." Another important document is your health insurance card. If you're traveling internationally, also bring a translated copy of your prescription. This can be a lifesaver in non-English speaking countries. According to the TSA, having these documents readily available can cut your screening time by up to 30%. It's worth the small effort. Chapter 3. The Liquid Limbo. Packing liquids and gels. Packing liquid medications can be tricky, but it's manageable with the right approach. Did you know that medically necessary liquids are exempt from the 3.4-ounce rule? It's true, but there are still guidelines to follow. First, pack your liquid medications separately in a clear, zip-top bag. This makes it easy for TSA agents to inspect them without rummaging through your other belongings. Next, label everything. Even if the bottle is small, a label helps. One frequent flyer said, "Labeling my medication bottles helped me avoid a lot of questions at security." If your medication requires refrigeration, get a portable cooler. TSA allows these, and you can even bring ice packs to keep your medication cool. Just make sure the ice packs are frozen solid when you go through security. Lastly, don't forget to check the TSA website for any updates. Regulations can change, and staying informed will help you avoid surprises. A recent survey found that 25% of travelers experienced smoother security checks by following up-to-date guidelines. Chapter 4. Pill Puzzles. Organizing your meds for security. Organizing your pills properly can make your journey through security much smoother. You might be surprised to learn that over 70% of travelers report some form of medication confusion at checkpoints. Let's fix that. Start by using a daily pill organizer. These are great for keeping your medication in order and easily accessible. Plus, they help you stick to your regimen while traveling. According to a frequent traveler, my pill organizer saved me a ton of time during my last trip. Keep your pill organizer in your carry-on bag. This way, you can easily access it if TSA agents need to inspect it. Remember, medications should never go in checked luggage due to the risk of loss or damage. Label your pill organizer compartments. It might sound tedious, but it can prevent confusion and speed up the screening process. Use small stickers or a label maker for clear identification. Also, consider packing a medication list. Write down the names and dosages of all your medications. This can be invaluable if you're asked to explain what you're carrying. One study showed that travelers with a medication list had fewer issues at security. Chapter 5. Med Compliance. Airport Security's latest guidelines. Staying compliant with airport security guidelines is essential. The rules can seem complex, but knowing them can save you a lot of trouble. According to TSA, 20% of travelers face delays due to non-compliance with medication regulations. First, know that you can bring an unlimited amount of medically necessary medication in pill or solid form through security. This is a big relief for many travelers. Just make sure your medications are screened separately. Liquid medications, as mentioned earlier, are exempt from the 3.4-ounce rule, but you need to declare them at the checkpoint. A TSA officer shared, simply declaring your liquid medications up front can prevent misunderstandings. Be aware of the latest TSA updates. Rules can change, and staying informed is your best defense against unexpected problems. Check the TSA website before your trip for any new regulations. Another tip is to avoid wrapping your medications as gifts. This might seem obvious, but many people do it around holidays and end up having their medications unwrapped by security. Keeping your meds accessible and in their original packaging is always the best policy. Chapter 6. The Insulin Issue. Special Tips for Diabetics. Traveling with insulin requires special attention, but it's manageable with the right strategies. Did you know that nearly 10% of the US population has diabetes? Many of these individuals travel frequently, so these tips are widely useful. First, always carry your insulin in your carry-on bag. Never put it in checked luggage because the temperature in the cargo hold can damage it. According to the American Diabetes Association, insulin should be kept at a stable temperature, ideally between 36 degrees Fahrenheit and 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Invest in a good quality insulin travel case. These cases often come with cooling packs to keep your insulin at the right temperature. One diabetic traveler said, "My insulated travel case was a lifesaver on a long international flight." Carry a doctor's note explaining your need for insulin and other diabetic supplies. This can help if you encounter any questions from TSA agents. A survey found that 30% of diabetic travelers had smoother experiences when they had a doctor's note. Chapter 7. Over-the-counter conundrum. Packing non-prescription meds. Packing over-the-counter, OTC, medications might seem straightforward, but there are some nuances to consider. Over 60% of travelers bring OTC meds, and knowing how to pack them can make your trip smoother. First, keep your OTC meds in their original packaging. This helps TSA agents quickly identify them and understand their use. One traveler shared, "Keeping my painkillers in their original box saved me a lot of explaining." Second, be aware of any restrictions on certain OTC medications. For example, pseudoephedrine, found in some cold medicines, has limitations due to its potential misuse. Research shows that 15% of travelers have had their OTC meds questioned at security. If you're carrying liquid OTC meds, follow the same rules as for prescription liquids. Declare them at the checkpoint and pack them in a clear, zip-top bag. A study found that declaring all liquids up front reduces screening time by 20%. Consider carrying a variety of common OTC meds, such as pain relievers, antihistamines, and digestive aids. These can be lifesavers during your trip. A seasoned traveler once said, "Having a small kit of OTC meds has saved me from countless headaches, literally and figuratively." Chapter 8. Emergency Essentials. What to pack in your carry-on. When it comes to medication, packing your carry-on wisely is crucial. Nearly 50% of travelers report having experienced lost or delayed checked luggage, so keeping essentials in your carry-on is a must. First, pack a small, separate bag for your medications. This makes it easier to access them during your flight and at security checkpoints. One traveler noted, "A dedicated meds bag in my carry-on made security checks a breeze." Include a list of your medications and their dosages in this bag. This can be a lifesaver if you need to refill a prescription or if an emergency arises. A recent study showed that travelers with a medication list had fewer issues during their trips. Don't forget to include any necessary medical equipment, such as syringes, inhalers, or glucose monitors. Make sure these items are easily accessible. According to the TSA, medical devices should be declared at the beginning of the screening process to avoid delays. Always have a few days' worth of medication in your carry-on, even if you're checking a larger supply. This ensures you have what you need if your checked bag is lost or delayed. One frequent traveler said, "Having extra meds in my carry-on has saved me more times than I can count." Chapter 9. Global Globetrotters, Traveling with Meds Internationally. Traveling internationally with medications requires extra planning. Different countries have different regulations, and being prepared can save you from a lot of trouble. First, research the medication regulations for your destination country. Some countries have strict rules about what medications can be brought in. The CDC website is a good resource for this information. One traveler shared, "Knowing the local laws about my medication prevented a lot of stress at customs." Second, carry a translated copy of your prescriptions if you're traveling to a non-English speaking country. This can help local authorities understand your needs. A study found that travelers with translated documents faced fewer issues at foreign airports. Also, check if your medication is available at your destination. In some cases, it might be easier to refill your prescription locally. One traveler noted, "I always check if my meds are available abroad. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have options." Lastly, ensure you have enough medication to cover your entire trip, plus a few extra days in case of delays. Carrying a little more than you need can prevent a lot of headaches. According to a travel survey, 25% of travelers reported needing extra medication due to unexpected trip extensions.